Faster my good evening and welcome to the Manx Radio Folk Show with me, John Barker, playing you the best in folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world. And after the excitement of having guests in the studio last week with Elizabeth Davison-Blythe and Daniel Quayle, this week we've got Christine Collister popping in to tell us about her upcoming tour and the Children of the Sea album. But more of that later. For now, here's Brass Monkey with Soldier Soldier and the Flowers of Edinburgh.
Soldier, soldier, will you marry me now with your hay, with a hoe, with the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I have no boots to put on. Downstairs she has run into her grandfather's chest, and she brought him boots, they were the best. Brought him boots of the very, very best, saying, "Here now, small man, put these on." Soldier, will you marry me now with your hay, with a hoe, with the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I've no breeches to put on. Downstairs she has run into her grandfather's chest, and she brought him breeches, they were the best. Brought him breeches of the very, very best, saying, "Here now, small man, put these on." Oh, soldier, soldier, will you marry me now with your hay, with a hoe, the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I have no shirt to put on. Downstairs she has run into her grandfather's chest, and she brought him a shirt, and it was of the best. Brought him a shirt of the very, very best, saying, "Here now, small man, put his on." Soldier, will you marry me now with your hay, with a hoe, with the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I have no coat to put on. Downstairs she has run into her grandfather's chest, and she brought him a coat, it was of the best. Brought him a coat of the very, very best, saying, "Here now, small man, put this on." Oh, soldier, soldier, will you marry me now with a hay, with a hoe, the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I have no hat to put on. Downstairs she has run into her grandfather's chest, and she brought him a hat, it was of the best. Brought him a hat of the very, very best, saying, "Here now, small man, put this on." Oh, soldier, soldier, will you marry me now with your hay, with a hoe, with the sound of your drum? No, sweet maid, oh, I cannot marry you, you see, I have a wife of my own.
Lovely stuff there from Brass Monkey. They really pioneered that folk brass sound that Bellowhead have since developed. Did I mention I'm going to see Bellowhead in November? Well, I am. There's loads of great music I'm going to see, actually. And indeed, I'm recording this show about a week early because I'm off up to Scotland to climb some Munros, some Scottish mountains over 3,000 feet. And on the way back, I'm hoping to catch the Gig Spanner Big Band at Settle Victoria Hall. So that'll be a great gig. I'll report back. Very soon after that, there's Steve Knightley at the Erin Arts Centre on Wednesday the 30th of October. And on November the 8th, there's Lowe at the Institute and Christine Collister at the Erin Arts Centre. And then, of course, on Saturday the 9th of November, there's Levant du Nord at the Centenary Centre, all leading up nicely to when I go back across to see Bellowhead on something like the 14th of November. Exciting times. I've played you quite a bit of music from the album by Janice Burns and John Doran, but John Doran has a new project called John Doran and the Northern Assembly. It features Heather Ferrier and Jordan Aitken, and they've released a single which is Robin Hood and the Peddler.
It's of a peddler bold he chanced to be. He rolled his pack all on his back, and away went peddler over the lea. By chance he met two troublesome men they chanced to be, and one of them was bold Robin Hood, and the other was Little John so free. Oh peddler, peddler, what's in thy pack? Come speedily and tell to me. I've several suits of the gay green silk, and silken bowstrings, all 2 and 3. If you're several suits of the gay green silk, and silken bowstrings 2 and 3, then by my body, cries Robin Hood, then half your pack there belongs to me. Oh no, cries the peddler bold. Oh no, that ne'er can be. There's never a man in all Nottingham can take one half of my pack from me. Then Robin Hood, he drew his sword, and the peddler by his pack did stand. They fought till the blood in the streams did flow. Then he cried, peddler, come hold your hand. Away to some tavern where bottles crack now most merrily.
That's rather good, isn't it? John Doran and the Northern Assembly, Robin Hood and the Peddler. Now, when I was at Saltburn Folk Festival earlier this year, I saw a wonderful band called the Often Heard, who I believe all met on the Newcastle University Traditional Music degree, and they're all superb musicians. And we've just been finishing off arrangements for them to come and play at the Institute in May next year. More details to come nearer the time. In the meantime, though, from their album When the Big Lamp Shines, this is Hold On.
I used to work most every day. Now my lifeblood is trickling away, but no attention they pay. We lived alright with open arms. Now the doorbell rings bittersweet alarm. moods unsettled, times override, and those that we trusted don't care if they're honest as long as they win. So hold on to compassion and see through your neighbor's eyes. Hold on, the frost on the window will thaw. Hold on to the love that you just can't ignore. Oh, hold on, the frost on the window will thaw. Hold on, the stranger's a stranger no more. Hold on.
The Often Heard, who, as I say, are based in the northeast of England. And of course, Jez Lowe, who's coming to the Institute very soon, is from the northeast too. This is one of my favourite songs of his. This is Not My Tribe.
Lost in the land where we belong, we belong. We are lost in the land where we belong. Lost in the land where we belong, we belong, we belong. Don't paint me in the colours of the day, that you locked up democracy and threw the key away. Don't tie me with the brush that the flag boys wave. I am lost in the land where I belong. And don't ask me to tell the teacher tales, or to worship at the cross while you're hammering in the nails, or trust in you just 'cause you're a whiter shade of pale. I am lost in the land where I belong. And this is not my tribe, not my tribe. This is not my tribe. They pillory their prophets and they ridicule their sages and their scribes. No, this is not my tribe, not my tribe. This is not my tribe. Can't you hear the voices calling? We are lost in the land where we belong. Lost in the land where we belong, we belong. We are lost in the land where we belong. And don't tell me who used to rule the waves. Tell it to the souls that lie bewildered in their graves. Don't tell me I'd be happier if only I behave. I am lost in the land where I belong. And this is not my tribe, not my tribe. This is not my tribe. They pillory their prophets and they ridicule their sages and their scribes. No, this is not my tribe. And don't scold me with how grateful I should feel. Then break my guilty heart with your charity appeals. To pay for the dignities you snatch away and steal. I am lost in the land where I belong. And this is not my tribe, not my tribe. This is not my tribe. They pillory their prophets and they ridicule their sages and their scribes. No, this is not my tribe, not my tribe. This is not my tribe. Can't you hear the voices calling? We are lost in the land where we belong. Can't you hear the voices calling? We are lost in the land where we belong. Lost in the land where we belong. We belong. We are lost in the land where we belong. Lost in the land where we belong. We belong. We belong.
That was Jez Lowe, who's appearing at the Institute on the 8th of November. Now, also on that night, by an unfortunate coincidence, because I'd love to see both gigs, Christine Collister is appearing down at the Erin Arts Centre. And earlier this morning, Christine popped into the studio to have a chat and tell us about that concert. And so I'm really pleased to welcome Christine Collister into the studio today. Hi, Christine.
Hello, John. How are you?
I'm very well. It's lovely to see you here. So the exciting news is that you're going to be doing a concert at the Erin Arts Centre in just a few weeks' time. If you want to tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, sure. It's actually the beginning of a tour, and it's on Friday, the 8th of November. And I will be presenting my latest project, which is called Children of the Sea. And it's a book with a CD of 9 original songs inspired by Manx folklore and a magical sense of place.
It's a very beautiful package, I have to say.
Oh, thank you.
It's a lovely thing. I've been listening to the music this weekend and it's really fantastic. Is it just you performing that night?
Yes, it is. So it's a solo show, and the first half of the gig will be Children of the Sea. What I'm doing is I'm presenting the whole CD as it is presented.
Okay.
I have a screen behind me, and I've created videos using the artwork. So there's some beautiful artwork in the book. A lot of local artists, including Nicola Dixon and Amanda Barton, and I even did the front cover. Who knew?
Really?
Yeah. So I do sing all the songs, but I use the tracks that I created for the CD, and I sing to those, and then I have these videos that I've edited together myself using the artwork and footage of the island. So when I take it off island, it's kind of like being the tourist board.
Yeah, well, you should get a contribution from
wouldn't that be
tourism
great?
For that.
Yeah, no, it's my pleasure to do it. Yeah, I've been doing it for a long time now.
Yeah, wonderful. And because the album's quite varied in its soundscapes, as it were, quite funky in some places.
Oh,
so
thank you.
Singing to the backing tracks,
yes,
because it would be very hard to do that just with
yeah,
an
I think it would.
guitar.
Although I've spent a career, like 40 years worth of creating, band albums and then going out with just a guitar, so stripped back versions. However, I've got no idea what the chords are in any of these songs. Because of the situation I was in at the time, I was looking after my mum who had dementia. And she passed in May this year, bless her.
Sorry to hear that.
I know. So I wasn't able to do what I would normally do, which is collaborate and work with other musicians. So what I did was I used Logic, which is the Apple Mac multi-track recording system. And in there is a little, what I like to call a little shop. And in the shop, there are loops. And the loops are actual pieces of music that were created by a real live musician at some point, and they got paid for that. Mm-hmm. And then I sew these little bits of music together to create something that hangs together as a song.
Brilliant. I didn't realise it was just on Apple Loops. When I say just, that's not... I've struggled with it for years, on Logic, and never really come out with anything very satisfactory. So that's a fantastic achievement, I must say.
There's one track that I co-wrote with a lovely guitar player that I'm a duo with in Australia, Michael Fix, and he created the whole track of Dear Sister.
Oh, yeah.
So, and he still used some loops, but he's an exceptional musician, unlike myself. So
Don't put yourself down.
hey, so there is that one collaboration, and I've also on the same track I've got it's a duet with Chris Weil.
All right, yeah, of course.
Of Weil and Matthews, yeah.
An old bandmate, of course.
Yes, from Daphne's Flight, yeah.
Brilliant stuff. And so then you're taking it on tour through the UK? What sort of places are you going to?
So it starts in the UK on the 14th of November, and I start in Wavendon at the Stables. It's the smaller of the venues. It's called Stables 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go to Cambridge Folk Club, Weatherall Village Hall, Bretforton Fleecy Folk. I've never played there before.
Interesting name.
But it sounds great. Then we go as far south as Penzance.
All right.
And then Honiton, Osmington, Corsham, Birmingham, Sheffield, York, Kirkby Stephen and Otley.
All right, brilliant. Back up north towards
Back
the
up
end.
north, aye.
Good stuff.
Indeed.
Brilliant. I do believe you've offered to sing us a little song this morning.
Yeah, I'd love to sing something.
It's a bit
for you.
early, but
it is a bit early. I have to say, it is a bit early, but I thought I'd do something for you.
Tell us about what.
Well, I'm going to do an a cappella version of How Will I Ever Be Simple Again, which is a Richard Thompson song.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I recorded a version of it way back in the early 90s, I think, with Rory McFarlane, and Barb Younger plays harmonica on that and sings with me. But I just thought I'd sing that. Richard Thompson, the last time I went out in the UK was 2019, so it's 5 years ago.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my goodness. It's a lifetime ago. And one of the lovely things I did, he was celebrating his 70th birthday that year, and he had a gig at the Albert Hall.
Oh, I wish I could have got to that. It looked amazing.
So not only did I get to sing with Richard on the night, I also got to be on stage with David Gilmour. So not that he knew I was there, but but I remember.
I'll rate Richard over David there.
Oh, do you? Oh, right, okay. So I just thought I'd sing one of his songs, and unfortunately, it's still pertinent today, isn't it?
Indeed.
I'll just start.
Beautiful, thank you.
Oh, she danced in the street with the guns all around her, all torn like a rag doll, barefoot in the rain. And she sang like a child till her day to her daddy. Oh, how will I ever be simple again? Oh, she sat by the banks of the dirty grey river and tried for a fish with a worm on a pin. But there was nothing but fever and ghosts in the water. Oh, how will I ever be simple again? War was my love and my end companion. What did I care for the pretty and plain? But her smile was so clear, and my heart was so troubled. Oh, how will I ever be simple again? In a cold, burnt-out house, I sat at her table. The smell of her hair was like cornfields in May. And I wanted to weep, and my eyes ached from trying. Oh, how will I ever be simple again? So graceful she moved through the dust and the ruins, and happy she was in her dances and games. Oh, teach me to see with your innocent eyes, love. Oh, how will I ever be simple again? Oh, how will I ever be simple again?
Well, wasn't that absolutely beautiful? That was Christian Collister with Richard Thompson's How Will I Ever Be Simple Again. Absolutely fantastic.
Thank you so much.
It's a real treat to have some live music in the studio. So, what else are you up to? Is there any other plans in the
Plans in the offing?
offing?
Well, on these gigs, so the first half is Children of the Sea. The second half is just me and guitar singing songs from across my 40 years.
Well, it's funny because I was just telling you before
Yeah.
we started recording that I first saw Christine playing with Richard Thompson's band at the Mean Fiddler in North London before I even knew anything about the Isle of Man. I'd never been here before at that
Oh,
point.
wow, that's
and then
amazing.
I came here a couple of years later. I realised that Christine was from this very island.
Yeah, a long time.
It
eh?
was a long time
long
ago.
time ago. So I mean, apart from the tour and being fairly excited about Children of the Sea, which by the way was generously supported by the Isle of Man Arts Council and Culture Vannin, for which I'm eternally grateful. I'm really in the middle of clearing my mum's house and it's being sold, and then when I come back from tour at the beginning of December, I've got like a 5-day turnaround before I leave again
Okay.
and head for Australia.
All right. Exciting.
So my brother lives in Perth. My stepdaughter and our grandkids live in Sydney. So we're going to spend our time between those two places. And then for the end of March through to the end of April, I'll be doing some gigs with Michael Fix. So that'll be a completely different kind of set of songs. And I'm really excited to kind of be on stage with somebody else as well for the first time in 5 years. So life is starting again.
Picking up.
Yeah, it's picking up and it's changed. And despite the fact that none of us are getting any younger, it's still it's very exciting.
Hey, lots of stuff left in us to keep going, isn't there?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Lots of music left in us, yeah.
Sure.
Well, thank you for coming in, Christine. Absolute pleasure to see you and lovely to hear you sing as well. And if you need tickets, which you do, for the Christine's concert at the Erin Arts Centre, then go to the Erin Arts Centre website and you'll be able to get them there.
Yeah, and there'll be tickets on the night as well, I'm sure.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks. See you again. Bye.
Thanks, John.
Here's a great track that I've come across, Queen Among the Heather by Wendy Grossman, an American banjo player, from an album called The Last Trip Home that's just been released.
As I roved out one evening fair, among lofty hills, moorlands and mountains, it's there I spied a well-favoured maid, whilst I with others was out a-hunting. No shoes nor stockings did she wear, neither had she hat nor feathers, but her golden hair in ringlets fell, and the gentle breeze played round her shoulders. I said, fair maid, why roam your lane? Why roam you here among the heather? She said, my father's away from home, and I'm herding all his yows together. I said, fair maid, if you'll be mine, I'll give you to lie on a bed of feathers. In silks and satins you will shine, and you'll be my queen among the heather. She said, kind sir, your offer's good, but I'm afraid 'twas meant for laughter, for I know you are some rich squire's son, and I'm a poor lame shepherd's daughter. But had you been a shepherd lad, herding yows in yonder valley, plowman's son, then with all my heart I could have loved you. I've been to halls, and I've been to balls, I've been to London and Balquhidder, but the bonniest lass that e'er I saw, she was herding all her yows together. We both sat down upon a stone, we both sat down and talked together, and we left the owls to stray their lane, till I loved my queen among the heather.
Now, before Christine Collister's gig at the Erin Arts Centre, on the 30th of October, Steve Knightley is playing there. He, of course, has been one half of Show of Hands for many years, but he's just got a new solo album coming out called The Winter Yards, and this is the title track.
My old man called me in last night to tell me he had lost the fight, and the only way to make it right was to close our old fair down. He said, I'm really sorry, son, I can pay you for the work you've done, but I can't keep you hanging on till the summer rolls around. For 100 years my family's worked these grounds. The county shows, the village greens, and the market towns, but now it's over. I wonder if it's over. All locked down in the winter yards, the travelling life will leave the scars on the gallopers and the bumper cars, shining in the rain. And as we packed the gear away, I promised him I'd be back one day. For one last ride I'd gladly pay to work these loads again. For I don't believe my way of life has passed, with the smell of dust and diesel and the new mown grass. The tilt, the flash, the build up, the pulling down. I miss the moving days with the marking out the ground. Now it's over. They tell me it's over. So I'll head down to my brother's farm, where the winter work will keep me warm. Turn my collar to the northern storms, and I'll shelter to the spring. But there's one thing every showman knows: people still need a place to go, for a film, a fair, a dance, a show, where they can shout and sing. Then I'll drag my weary father to his feet. I'll say, look, the summer's here, and there are people in the street. Oh, this lockdown winter yard's no place to hide. Step right up, walk this way. Everyone's a winner on that sweet day. We welcome back the ride. Let's welcome back the ride. Walk this way, folks.
And you can get tickets for Steve Knightley's gig at the Erin Arts Centre by following links from the Erin Arts Centre website. Now, last week I was playing some tunes from the album Strings That Nimble Leap, which is an album put together by Roger Bucknell of Filed Guitars, featuring players of those guitars who donated tracks to the album, which raised money for charity. I ran out of time slightly. I was going to play you this one as well. This was all in celebration of the fact that I've just got a nice new Filed guitar. I might even record myself playing it and give you a little listen in a future week. But this is Adam Burley and Chas Mackenzie playing Neil Gow's lament for the death of his second wife.
Pictured a rainbow. You held it in your hands. I have flashes. You saw the plans. I wandered out in the world for years. You just stayed in your room. I saw the crash You saw the whole of the moon. You saw the whole of the moon. You were there at the turnstiles with the wind at your heels. You stretched for the stars. You know how it feels to reach too high, too far, too soon. You saw the whole of the moon. You saw the whole of the moon. I was grounded, but you filled the sky. I was dumbfounded by truth. You cut through lies. I saw the rain-dirty valley, and you saw Brigadoon. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. You saw the whole of the moon. I spoke about wings, but you just flew. I wondered, I guessed, and I tried. You just knew. I sighed. You swooned. I saw the crescent. You saw the whole of the moon. You saw the whole of the moon. With a torch in your pocket and the wind at your heels, you climbed on a ladder. You know how it feels to reach too high, too far, too soon.
I absolutely love that version of the Waterboys, The Whole of the Moon, one of my favourite songs of all time. And that familiar voice was, of course, Corinne Polwart, and it's from her Scottish Songbook album that was released in 2019. There's loads of great stuff on there. At the start of last week's show, I played October Song, a new version by John Wilkes. Well, here's the original by the Incredible String Band.
I'll sing you this October song. Oh, there is no song before it. The words and tune are none of my own, for my joys and sorrows bore it. Beside the sea, the brambly briars, in the still of evening, birds fly out behind the sun, and with them I'll be leaving. The fallen leaves that jewel the ground, they know the art of dying, and leave with joy their glad gold hearts in the scarlet shadows lying. When hunger calls my footsteps home, the morning follows after. I swim the seas within my mind, and the pine trees laugh green laughter. I used to search for happiness, and I used to follow pleasure, but I found a door behind my mind, and that's the greatest treasure. For rulers like to lay down laws, and rebels like to break them, and the poor priests like to walk in chains, and God likes to forsake them. I met a man whose name was Time, and he said I must be going, but just how long ago that was, I have no way of knowing. Sometimes I want to murder time, sometimes when my heart's aching, but mostly I just stroll along the path that he is taking.
Well, I've told you about lots of great gigs that are coming up on the Isle of Man over the next few weeks, but the sessions and everything else still go on, of course. So this Wednesday night there'll be the trad session in O'Donnell's. On Thursday night there'll be the folk club in Ramsey at the Buffs Club. There'll be a session at the Mitre in Ramsey on Friday night, and with it being the first Sunday in the month, the Sunday afternoon session will be at Laxey Sailing Club from around about 12:45, 1 o'clock or so. So lots and lots of great music for you to enjoy out there. Get out and support live music, as I always say. Just time for one more track. This is by Session A9 from an album that was released a long time ago, now 2009, called Bottlenecks and Arm Breakers. And this is Sporting Paddy, Hamish the Carpenter, Hulls, and a familiar tune at local sessions, The Road to Errigy. I'll be back to play you more great folk and roots music from the Isle of Man and from all around the world next week, and hopefully I'll see you then.